And we're connecting. All right, we're live. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Couch Coaches, the podcast done live because I don't know how to edit and I'm too lazy to learn. I'm your host, DJ. I'm here with your co host, Sam. How are we doing today, Sam?
Oh, it's pretty good, man. How you doing?
I'm here, another week, another crazy week in the NFL. Instead of going over a weekly recap, I had a thought in my head of what if we started off with a little bit of a topic. Are the Packers on fraud watch?
Um, yes. Honestly, as confident as I was in them going into the season, yeah.
Because I remember on this show, I said that they will. Now, I still could be proven wrong in the coming years, but I said they will never win a Super Bowl with Michael Parsons and Jordan Love on the same team. You
Yeah.
argued that they could do it this year.
Yeah. They might be frauds. I mean, I'm serious. I was pretty confident in them. And they just I don't know, they just
Now,
the
it's
way I'm just looking at I'm looking at their scores and it's just so bizarre. Like my friend's a Packers fan, he always says they play to their competition. And like you look at the game scores and it's like that's pretty much the case. Especially post Commanders win. Because those first 2 weeks, excuse me, especially against Detroit, sorry, they just looked so good, and I just was really confident in them. But they really do play to their opponents. I mean, 10-7, like you know what I mean. Like then I don't know.
you would think
Fraud Watch is a very
in a week where they held a typically in the past potent Philly offense. Don't get me wrong, they've had their own struggles this year. But holding that Philly team to 10 and you find a way to lose.
yeah. Defensively, they look fine after having some woes this season, and then the offense, poops the bed. So it's like it's really bizarre. I don't really even know how to explain it at this point either. It's like, yeah, fraud watch is a very good way to explain it. That's completely fair, honestly.
I mean, I'm ready to flat out call them frauds. And don't get me wrong, I'm a hater. I'm a Lions fan. But I don't think a team that makes this big swing and trades multiple first round picks and Kenny Clark to acquire Micah Parsons, then pay him over $40 million a year as a non QB. I think through 10 weeks of NFL football, this season has been a complete failure for Green Bay. I don't think there's any other way to say it.
Well, I mean, as of right now, are they a playoff team?
I'd have to look at
Let's
the
see.
standings, but I mean, they're probably on the outside looking in, being 5-4-1. Let me look in a
Mm,
playoff picture because the Lions are officially leading the North, which awesome. Tied with Chicago, but have the
yeah,
head-to-head tiebreaker.
yeah, key.
So I've got it
Yeah,
pulling
just Chicago
up.
going to the division. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean Ben Johnson's a
Uh,
great coach. I mean I knew he was a great coach. My only question was I questioned his leadership ability, but he's got the Chicago team firing a little bit better than he did at the start of the year. I mean Caleb Williams is starting to look a little cleaner. I mean, and yeah, the Packers are clinging to the 7 seed right now. They have that 7 seed by half a game. Directly behind them are the Niners at 6-4, the Panthers at 5-5, and the Vikings at 4-5. So that seventh seed is well up for grabs. Granted, the Packers can easily still climb back up and take the North. That's certainly not out of the realm of possibility.
I mean, I'm looking at their schedule too. They have a lot of their division games left, but like their schedule is middle of the road difficulty. I would say medium difficulty because it's like they play the Giants next week, then they play the Vikings, and I'm like, How would you feel about them if they were 7-3-1 going into the game against Detroit on Thursday night?
Not
Like that?
that will be Thanksgiving, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, it would
So
be.
now I I think I think I don't think I have to fear them. I could be proven wrong on Thanksgiving Day, which would suck. Watch my team lose on a holiday, but I'm kind of used to it as a Lions fan over the course of my life. Um, but the reason I say that is having watched the Lions Commanders game, which I actually want to touch on that a little bit later. Um, Dan Campbell took over play calling. They benched John Morton from play calling duties, and Dan has taken over. And the offense looked like Ben Johnson levels of potent.
Well, that's an interesting development. I actually didn't even hear that.
I mean, what people
I don't even
tend
know what to
to
make of it either.
what people tend to forget is Dan Campbell's first year in Detroit. Our offensive coordinator was Anthony Lynn, former Chargers head coach, and he got fired after about 8 weeks. Dan took over the play calling duties for the rest of that season, and that's when we started winning football games. We went like 3-4 down that stretch with a bare bones roster.
Yeah, and if he doesn't trust anybody other than Ben Johnson with that close play calling duties, or at least if he's weary of them, he should keep it in his own hands. It's his decision to make too, as the head coach. And some consistency in the play calling area would probably be good for the team. But I mean, I'm I'm kind of confident that's a good decision. To be completely honest with you.
Dan Campbell is way smarter than people give him credit for, and I want to come back to this, but let's go back to Green Bay. So, I mean, now you can tell me if I'm crazy, but I'm seeing a lot of parallels to this current iteration of the Packers as to what Chicago did back when they traded for Khalil Mack.
Well, I think that they have the capacity to be a great offense. They just aren't.
I think they do too,
Um,
but and don't get me wrong, I think Jordan. I'm not trying to sit here and say Jordan Love is the same as Mitchell Trubisky, but in some sense, it's almost worse than what the Bears did because they already paid Jordan Love a lot of money. They're stuck with him.
well, when the Bears traded for Khalil Mack, they went 12-4.
Yeah, they went. Yeah, they won the division and won a playoff game, I believe. But you don't give up that kind of draft capital to trade for a guy and have to extend him to not win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I think they can. I still think they can. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with them because it seems like they do play kind of lethargically, and I'm a big fan of Lafleur, so like I want to have his back on this, but I don't think this has been his best coaching job either. Because I mean, the way he was coaching them when they were like the youngest team in NFL history or the second youngest team in NFL history, and they won a playoff game and they almost beat, it was like Jordan Love's first year starting. Like that team played with urgency. This team just doesn't. It's just very like I don't know what's wrong with it. There's just something wrong, and I feel like based on the amount of talent they have, I think they can figure it out. But it's just we'll see.
I want to say
We'll see. I
yes.
need to.
I want to agree with you because the talent level is clearly there. But at what point do you say that Jordan Love is simply not really improved since he's become the starter?
That's interesting.
Are we witnessing
Let
his
me look.
ceiling here? And if we're witnessing his ceiling, he needs a lot more help than what the current receiver room is giving him.
I'm looking at his stats this season and stuff. I mean, and then you look at his numbers, and his numbers are good. There's something about like his numbers might be better than ever. I mean, because he's sitting here through 9 games, 68% completion, which is the highest of his career, 2,200 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, 3 picks. I mean, that's a phenomenal. I mean, that's like He's so weird because he just quietly has really good numbers sometimes, like especially that first year starting. I mean, I remember like he kind of started out a little bit rough around the edges, but he ended up that first year with 32 touchdowns and 11 interceptions, and like I think most of the interceptions were in the first half of the season or something, maybe 8 of them. Um, like he's just, I think he's good, and I think he has potential to be better. I mean, and he never has had a Pro Bowl receiver or anything like that, or any, like he's never had a Jamar Chase, he's never had a Devontae Adams, he's never had, you know, and maybe Matthew Golden will turn into that. I don't know, but we'll see. But he's another one when you talk about like the T Higgins trade. I kind of didn't even think about the. I mean, they're probably not going to trade anything else because they don't really have anything to trade. But that would have been an interesting place if Micah wouldn't have happened for T Higgins to go.
Yeah, because I don't know. At what point is LaFleur going to be on the hot seat if they fail to win a playoff game this year after making that swing for Micah?
I don't know. Because I mean, maybe he's the. I mean, talking about ceilings, I mean, maybe he's the issue in that regard, but I don't really think he is. I think he's a good head football coach, to be completely honest with you.
I mean, what he's done in Green Bay is nothing short of terrific. I mean, even though Mike McCarthy's won a Super Bowl, I would argue Matt LaFleur is a better coach than Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and he's never had the talent on defense that McCarthy did the year they won. I mean, not even anywhere close.
Yeah,
I mean, offensively, the talent's been there, but I mean,
and
even not really as much as what Mike had either.
And that's the thing.
I mean,
when you're an offensive-minded head coach, I don't care that you're playing Philly. Scoring only 7 points is unacceptable.
Yeah, that's fair.
You invested $50 million a year into Jordan Love. You got a good O-line. You've got a top 10, arguably top 5 running back in Josh Jacobs. You have, granted he went down with an ACL injury, but you had breakout tight end Tucker Kraft with all these average to above average, no elite, but average to above average pass catchers, and you're telling me that you can only muster 7 points against a Philadelphia defense that has struggled all year?
Yeah, it's baffling. What happened against Carolina is baffling. I mean, I don't even think Carolina's bad. I'm just saying that Green Bay should have handled them.
Yeah, they're not winning the games they're supposed to, and they're still losing games that they're supposed to lose. It's just, it baffles me that they're sitting at 5-3 and 1. They've lost to Cleveland, Carolina, Philly, and tied Dallas. All their losses in the tie outside of Philly are to teams that no one thinks is good.
Yeah, they play down to their opponents. That's what my friend. Excuse me, I don't know what I just. That's what they've done all year. I mean, they just play down to their opponents and then end up losing because of it. I watched that Browns game. It was horrific. I mean, they just couldn't do anything.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that the first Browns game our friends ever went to root for their Cleveland Browns was a win over the freaking Packers.
That was their first game.
It was either their first or their first one in years. I think it might have been their first ever.
Wow, what an experience that would have been. That game was amazing to watch on TV.
They were trying to get me to go to Detroit versus Cleveland, but I mean, Detroit tickets are ridiculous nowadays.
Yeah. That city does not take them for granted. Them being good for granted. Not at all.
Nope. I mean, our fans are shelling out. It's $400 to go to be in the nosebleeds.
Yeah. Speaking of, well, we'll finish this. We'll finish Packers.
But
we had to.
Yeah, the Packers. Just back to them. I'm gonna get on my soapbox and be a hater and be biased and say and continue my point from a couple episodes ago. Green Bay gave up 2 first-round picks, are paying 2 people nearly $100 million of their salary cap. They're not going to win a Super Bowl with this regime. They're just not. And if I'm wrong, I'll admit that. I'm not too afraid to admit when I'm wrong about somebody. But this Green Bay Packers team, this current iteration of Green Bay, is going to be just okay. They're never going to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think you're wrong. I'll be honest. I do. I think they're going to. But I don't know. I thought it might be this year, but I don't know. There's something wrong with this team. Maybe it'll just take another year for them to figure it out. But I think that they have Super Bowl DNA in them with that head coach and that quarterback combo and then everything else around it.
I think Jordan Love is just a guy. I don't think he's bad, but I think he's just a guy.
See, I think I get that, but again, I don't know. Watching him makes me think that, but then you look at his numbers. It's kind of like the reverse Justin Herbert, because you see Justin Herbert and you're like, wow, wow, wow. Then you look at his numbers and you're like, shouldn't your numbers be better? You know what I mean? It's kind of like the reverse of that. But, you know.
Yeah.
Well, some people say that's not how Herbert is, but I've never seen Justin Herbert have a bad game. But again, I probably haven't watched enough games.
I've watched Justin Herbert have bad games. He's not perfect like so many fans want to say he is, but he's a good talent. Him and Jordan Love are way closer than any Justin Herbert fan would ever admit.
I think Herbert's firmly better though.
I would rather have Justin Herbert, but I think it's a closer debate than people realize.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're both top 10 quarterbacks, to be honest.
You know what? Let's go through that. That intrigues me. Because I don't know if I would consider Jordan Love top 10. Let's go through it, because obviously you have the top 4, the AFC dogs with Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, and Lamar.
Burrow. So those 4.
Those are squarely the top 4 guys. And then
Stafford still should be in there.
Stafford's absolutely top 10. Call me by. Jared Goff's playing like a top 10 quarterback. I think he's cemented himself in that sphere. Baker Mayfield's a top 10 quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Drake May has certainly entered that discussion. I think he's a top 10 quarterback this year.
Well, this year, that's a different... Herbert's definitely a top 10 quarterback this year.
And then Herbert is, well, Sam Darnold is... And I don't even like Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is entering that sphere.
Oh, my God. Okay.
No, dude, on our failed podcast, dude, I literally called Sam Darnold an idiot, and look what he did last year after I made that statement, and look what he's doing again this year in a completely new scheme. Sam Darnold is so much better than I ever gave him credit for. I called him a freaking idiot.
You called him an idiot on multiple occasions. It's like you wanted to call him an idiot. Okay, here's what we got so far for this season. Sam Darnold's completion percentage is better by 4 points, 71 to Herbert's 67. Herbert has 2,600 yards. Sam has 2,200. Herbert has more passing yards per game, more touchdowns. 8 picks to Sam's 6. 8 is kind of a lot in 10 games, but
I mean, you gotta look at how that team is like calling it, though. You know, they sling it.
Yeah, which is I never would have expected, but here we are. Rush attempts 51, 324, 6.5 yards a carry, 1 touchdown. Yeah, I would definitely. I mean, that's even closer than I thought it would be, but I would definitely prefer Herbert. But I'm looking based on these numbers, it's kind of a coin flip. But then I just think of what I've seen from Herbert this year, the kind of throws he's been making, the kind of, put his team on his back wins that he's had to do because they've had no run game and their line has been such a mess because of injuries. Really, that whole team's been a mess because of injuries. I mean, they've just got the bug this year.
I mean, absolutely.
But I mean, Herbert's my guy for this season, though. I mean, I'd probably still put Herbert. You got to put Herbert in there.
But I guess the crux of my argument, I was never trying to argue that Justin Herbert's not top 10. I was trying to argue that Jordan Love isn't.
Yeah. I think I would take Jordan Love over Sam Darnold. Let's compare their numbers for this year, too. I mean, just what I saw earlier makes me think that Jordan Love has better numbers than either of the two of them. Just for this season.
Here.
Sam Darnold. he's got like 15 less yards. The one thing that's really eye popping to me about Sam Darnold is he has 9.9 yards per attempt.
Yep, he is slinging that rock, and I mean, the records they're 8-2. I mean, this is a Seattle team that I didn't think would be 8-2 fighting for the top seed in the division.
No, they're basically a coin. Well, I'd say Sam Darnold probably is a little bit better, just a tick better. I mean, the eye-popping stat with me for Jordan Love this year is he only has 3 interceptions. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, he has a 4-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. Like
I mean, I would almost argue that is indicative of LaFleur being conservative, and that's why they're 5-3.
That's fair. That's fair.
And sorry, correction. Seahawks are 7-2. They already had their bye week.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Then I got distracted. And then I'm gonna compare Jordan Love to. I'm just doing like the stat head football thing on Football Reference. I'm just kind of thinking about this stuff. And yeah, and then Herbert is better than him at basically everything, other than interceptions. Like he clears them firmly outside of completion percentage, and Herbert's yards per attempt is 7.3, but I mean that's not the word. I mean, yards per attempt is a stat I haven't looked up a whole lot, but I just can't believe this Chargers team where he's averaging 261 passing yards per game. Like that's just so not what I expected to happen.
Yeah,
he has 19 touchdowns.
It's been a strange year.
I mean, they're talented enough to where they can adapt. The Chargers are. I mean, they're still building, but they're talented enough to where they can adapt, and it's kind of interesting to see. Because just them putting draft capital into a Matthew Stafford has 25 touchdowns.
He's been slinging that rock. Give him Davante Adams. See what happens.
Oh my God! I knew he was playing well. 25 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
He's only thrown 2 picks.
Give him Davante Adams and freaking Sean McVay.
Jeez, I miss Matt Stafford every day. A lot of love for JG, but Matt Stafford is so much better.
No, it's crazy because then he has the top two quarterbacks in this. Because I just looked up most touchdowns this season. Goff has 20 and 3 picks.
Yeah, Goff's playing great football, but Matthew Stafford, it's the talent differential. Stafford is just clearly the better talent.
Stafford is a top 5. I mean, Rodgers, I would say, is out of his prime, and obviously Stafford, I guess, isn't. By the way, I need to say this on this podcast because I'm going to go on an absolute rampage in our fantasy group chat. When I was brand new to fantasy, 2022, Stafford got hurt, and everyone in that group chat said he was done. Were you one of those people? I don't remember.
I don't really remember that discussion. I don't think that you could make me turn on Stafford.
I don't think that you could either, because you were just saying you were worried about him. Actually, you know what? I remember you said you were worried about him, like that you thought he bounced back the next year, and he did.
Because getting hurt at his age is a big deal.
No, it is a big. Well, at the age he was even then, but 3 years ago. But I would say it's just funny. But no, I mean he's somebody that I'm never going to turn on. And I'd say he's still a top 5 talent in the league. I mean the way he's playing, his arm talent is off the charts.
There's only, in my opinion, 2 other guys who in their primes can sling it quite like Stafford: Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. In the league currently. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Obviously, there have been guys throughout history. I love Josh Allen. I'm a big Josh Allen guy. Not quite the same level of arm talent.
I'd put him in that conversation at least.
He's in the conversation, but I don't think he has the arm angles like Stafford does.
Yeah.
I can watch Stafford sidearm a 50-yard piss missile. I haven't seen Josh Allen do that.
That's fair. It's just he's an alien, and he always has been an alien too. And people took him for granted when he's in Detroit.
I mean, Matt
It's
Stafford
just
like made me when I was just playing touch football at the Boys and Girls Club as a freaking kid or wherever in the backyard. I I was sidearming crap because of Stafford.
well, and Mahomes said he was. Mahomes said he watched Stafford when he was a kid because he's from Texas. Because the Stafford's from Texas. Like not he was. It's not like he was watching him in high school. But I'm just saying he looked up. That was like part of why he looked up to him. Yeah, yeah. He's an alien. He's MVP. I mean, that's really all there is to it. I mean, it's probably worth looking. I mean, I know JT's playing really well. I should probably look into like his numbers real quick before I like make that statement firmly.
It's in my opinion, I think it's
25 touchdowns or 2 picks through 10 games. Have they had their bye yet?
they've had their bye, so 9 games. So he's on pace for almost 50 touchdowns and 4 picks. So if he achieves those kind of numbers, it's hard not to give it to Matt. But JT, that's my guy. That's my pick. I'm tired of skill positions getting disrespected for MVP. What? Because Jonathan Taylor is on pace for 2,000 scrimmage yards and 30 touchdowns.
15 touchdowns. Oh my goodness. The next closest is 11. I think is what I saw. Yeah, Josh Jacobs has 11.
And I think
almost
I think
barely
that's
over half the yards.
I think Jonathan Taylor literally has 15 rushing touchdowns, and I think he's chipped in another 3 or 4 receiving. I could be wrong about that.
I'm going to look now.
Okay, yep, just his rushing stats, 15 touchdowns.
2 receiving.
So he's got 17
So 17
touchdowns on the
touchdowns.
year, and I want to say around 1,400 scrimmage yards.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe more. I can do the math here. I'll just get on Football Reference again and let her do the math for me, so I don't have to do it.
He's like at 1,409 scrimmage yards. Or wait, 1,399.
1399 and 17 touchdowns. Yep, that's what it
So
says
he's
on here.
at the pace he's at, he's going to have well over 2,000 scrimmage yards and 30 touchdowns total at his current pace. Don't get me wrong, Stafford is on pace for like 45 touchdowns and like almost 5K. He might break 5K yards. So that's a tough discussion, but if you can't have like 2,500 scrimmage yards and 30 tuds and not win the MVP, just rename it the quarterback award.
Yeah. Well, okay. Say I'm trying to remember who won MVP. So I'm just looking up the MVP years. I'm trying to think of a bad NFL MVP year, like where somebody won. And you're like, all right.
Who won the year Cooper Kupp had the Triple Crown? Because I am firmly saying that Cooper Kupp should have been the league MVP his Triple Crown year.
21. It was Aaron Rodgers. He had like 40-some touchdowns, I think.
Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers did win in
So
2021.
in 2019, when Lamar Jackson won the MVP and his stats, when he just elevated his team, that's the year you give it to Jonathan Taylor. But if you have a quarterback season like the one Rodgers had that same year, where he had 38 touchdowns, like 5 picks, if I'm not mistaken, let me go look. Because I know his 2021 season compared to his. Well, let me go back and look. I want to make sure I'm remembering the years right. 4,100 yards, 37 touchdowns, 4 picks.
That's a great season, but honestly, we need to set some higher benchmarks for MVP because don't get me wrong, the touchdown to pick ratio is fantastic, but I think you need at least 40 tosses to be an MVP at quarterback.
If there's a season like what JT had,
Yeah.
or what is happening, assuming he stays healthy.
Because I
Um,
I think it's hard to argue that in 2021 that Cooper Cup was not the best player on the planet, regardless of position.
2021.
Or no, 20
Yeah,
yeah, or was it 2020 or 2021 Cooper Cup, the Triple Crown year?
it was 2021. It was 2021. Uh,
Yeah, it's
believe me, I remember that year.
yeah, it's hard to like tell me he wasn't the best player in the world that year.
I think Aaron Donald was the best player in the world, but
And that's a great argument. Aaron Donald is always a great argument to have in that discussion.
no, Cooper Cup. I mean, I'm just being a nitpicker at this point. Cooper Cup was probably the best player in the world that year. He
And
was unstoppable.
and right now, Jonathan Taylor is the best football player in the world, regardless of position.
The way he's playing, or his skill set.
The way he's playing.
Okay, that's fair. I was gonna say, I mean, then I started thinking my wheels start turning, and I start leaning towards Saquon in that conversation. But I know he stopped playing as well as he did last year. I don't even know what his numbers look like this year.
I mean, still fine.
Cause he,
He's still Saquon, but it certainly wasn't last year.
yeah, he has half as many yards as JT and and like a third of the touchdowns. Wow,
Yeah, no, it's
6 touchdowns versus 17. Yeah, that'd be a tough argument to make this season.
like let's
He
just
had last year. What's insane? Let me find the stat.
like he is dragging that the Colts team to an 8-2 record. Like he is definitely masking a lot of Daniel Jones deficiencies, and they still pop up here and there.
Yeah, with most quarterbacks they will. I mean, that's just the way of the. He has more touchdowns already than Saquon had last year, the whole season. Oh my God, JT's having a good season. If Stafford has 50 touchdowns and 4 picks, I mean, I would give it to Stafford. But
If JT
I understand.
if they both hit those benchmarks that we've set for them, it almost feels like it needs to be like 1990 or 1991 where it was a co MVP between Favre and Barry.
Yeah, I would support that.
And I hate the idea of co MVP, but like you can't dishonor what Jonathan Taylor's doing with just the Offensive Player of the Year award because he was more than that this year.
So far, I mean, he might not stay healthy. We don't know that he's gonna be healthy.
You're right. Injuries are always a concern. I mean, they're a concern for Stafford as well.
With him, I'm talking about with him in particular. Well, no, yeah, with Stafford too, but
I mean,
but yeah,
Stafford had to get back. He had to get, I forget what it's called, but he had to get shots in his back before the season. There was a concern that he might not even play this year because of back injury concerns, especially at his age.
yeah. Well, a lot of people thought this might be his last year, which I mean, we'll see about that. But
I mean, the Rams almost traded him, man.
they can win the Super Bowl this year. I mean, honestly,
Yeah, I'm sure Sean McVay's double second guessing himself after wanting to trade Stafford in the offseason. He almost got dealt to the Raiders, you know.
I didn't know that happened. I actually missed that.
But Stafford was like,
There's that much.
let's not do that.
I think he probably retired before he'd leave LA. Honestly, unless it was the right situation. If it was the Raiders, not the right situation. But
No, a 37-year-old quarterback who was never really that mobile to begin with behind that O-line, no, you're asking for him to die.
Yep. And this line isn't even as good as they used to be. But with the Rams.
Yep, but I mean, Sean McVay schemes his guys open. I mean, they do a lot of the quick passing game.
And Stafford makes it look really sexy. I mean, like, all jokes aside, like the way he plays is like it's like a sexy style of quarterback play with the sidearm throws and everything.
Yeah, you think NFL quarterback?
Those are really the two names. It's really not even worth. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
with JT and Stafford, it's really not even worth mentioning anybody else. It's one over the other. I mean, honestly, I don't even know who else would be even close to that conversation. But
I mean, if you look at the
those are the guys.
numbers, Mahomes and JG are the only other guys, but they're not even in the same stratosphere as what Stafford and JT are doing.
Yeah,
And the
Mahomes
winning component
played a lot.
matters. The winning component matters. The Chiefs are 5-4. The Lions are 6-3. These two guys that we're talking about as the front runners are both 7-2. Actually, I think the Colts are 8-2. They have their bye week next week. The Colts are 8-2. The Rams are 7-2.
Yeah, dominant play. Yeah, I mean that's pretty cut and dry. Like honestly, I mean there's nothing at this point of the season. You'd hand it to one of the two of them if the season ended today.
17
If I
tuds
had to
through 10
guess,
games as a skill position player, man. That's all I'd have to say.
just based on how things have gone in the past, I would say it'd probably be Stafford MVP.
That's what the voters are going to do, but I'm talking about JT deserves it. And I love Matthew Stafford. I'm saying JT's the MVP.
Okay, that's fair. He's pretty darn valuable. I mean, honestly, 17 touchdowns, pretty darn valuable.
I mean, this year he is blatantly the best back in football. It's not even a contest.
CMC's playing pretty good.
CMC's playing well, but he was pretty efficient last week. JT hasn't had a bad freaking game.
No, he hasn't. I'm looking at CMC's numbers aren't even close.
CMC has not been efficient. He's just getting the Brock a shit ton.
He has 1,300 scrimmage yards already.
That's
insane.
Because he's their top receiver. Their whole receiving room's been out.
Receiving yards. Oh my god, he has more receiving yards than he does rushing yards.
I'm telling you, he's their number one wideout.
What?
I mean, Mac.
He's so good at football. He's just so good at football, dude. He can do anything. He's had a thousand season. He's led the league in rushing. I mean, like, what a career. What a career. Wow.
Like, oh my lord. CMC's great. Future Hall of Famer. But
no, he's not JT. Not JT. He's not JT, at least not this season.
Let's be honest. If JT isn't doing what he's doing, the Colts are mediocre at best. Because, like, Sam Darnold, let's be real, he's had a statistically nice year, but you watch the tape, he's a game manager.
You said Sam Darnold. You meant Daniel Jones?
Yes, I meant Daniel Jones. My apologies. Very similar quarterbacks. They're the same guy. They're the same guy in my head. They're both New York cast-offs.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I thought it looked good when I saw him in person, but you know.
But speaking of New York, how about the Brian Daboll firing?
Yeah, you and I were kind of like, maybe they'll give him another year. Nope, they didn't.
Nope, because
they did not give him another year.
You know, well, the first episode we talked about, we're like, yeah, he's gonna get fired, and then Jackson Dart looked good, and we're like, well, maybe they give him time. Yeah. I mean, losing to Chicago's not that embarrassing at this point. I mean, and Jackson Dart went down with a concussion anyways, so you were asking Russell Wilson to win you a football game, like 2025 Russ.
Yeah, no. Should be Jameis. Who do you think? Who are some of the big names going into this offseason? Because I'm just like,
I mean, they could go.
There's a lot.
They could go barking back up the Bills tree and go get Joe Brady.
Yeah. Joe Brady's on. What do you mean Bills tree?
Isn't Joe Brady the OC? Who's? Am I tripping? Is Joe Brady?
Bills, the Buffalo Bills. Yes. I think that Bill Belichick. My bad. I got confused. I'm thinking somebody that Joe Brady's gonna be a big name in college and in the NFL. A name that I like in the head coaching circuit this season is Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken. I think Todd Monken could be a really good head coach.
I,
And he was a good head coach in college at Southern Miss for a little while back in the day. But Todd Monken coaching Jackson Dart would be kind of amazing.
I mean, you look at around the league. I mean, I'm not sure if he'll get hired, but I think Mike McDaniel probably gets another shot. I think he makes it to the end of the year with Miami and then gets canned, but he could be a guy who could get a job elsewhere right away.
What is Miami's record?
2-7,
3-7.
3-7. That Buffalo win put them over.
Negative 46 point differential's rough.
Yeah, that is.
Negative 84 point differential for the Bengals. Jeez.
Ooh.
I'm a fan of a really good organization, aren't
I I was there, brother. I know how bad a team can be ran.
Yeah. Speaking of the Bengals, something I really wanted to discuss that is a side point. The most valuable player to maybe any organization, Joe Burrow, is coming off IR and is currently practicing and might be playing at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I saw that his
How do we
practice
feel
window
about-
opened up.
Yeah. How do we feel about this?
I mean, let me look at the standings. Let me like what how far out are they of a playoff spot?
They're 3-6 in a division where the leader is 5-4.
So well, I just want to see how they are in comparison to the wild cards a little bit, because obviously the division's the path of least resistance, only being down 2.5 games, 3 games. Yeah, 3 games back.
Yeah.
But the 7 seed's also only 5-4. So like, if Joe Burrow can come back, and they'll have to win out almost by the time he gets back, unless Joe Flacco can sneak a couple more wins under his belt.
If he can get a win versus the Steelers, that'd be massive too. Knock the Steelers down to 5-5, and then they're 4-6.
Yeah, I mean the window, the,
That's,
the window's open for them to be there.
so you're saying there's a chance?
I mean, Joe Burrow's one of those guys where if he's on the field, you have a chance to win the game.
Yeah, agreed. My thing is though is Flacco's putting up like 40 points a game and losing, and I'm like, is Burrow going to be any different?
When your leader comes back, that can kind of rally the troops, and you might see an uptick in performance all around. Just the confidence of having your franchise guy back in the lineup.
The leader, like I said, maybe the guy who is most valuable to their franchise might be Joe Burrow.
I don't think any team falls off harder than the Bengals without Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
because Joe Burrow can.
Maybe the Bills. Maybe.
I think Sean McDermott's such a good coach. I think they could still eke out a 5-win season if Josh Allen was out for the year, which I guess the Bengals can too. But I don't know. But Josh Allen is that offense because he doesn't have a single receiver to throw to, so they probably are in the same boat now that I think about it out loud.
Yeah, they need to get him a number one receiver. I want to see it. I want to see it bad. Yeah.
I mean,
Diggs. That was football magic. Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. It was really football magic for a while there.
What do you think about the possibility of, because Chris Olave was a name on the trade market during the deadline. What if this offseason, do you think Buffalo would think Chris Olave's their potential number one option?
He'd be a good number one for them too, but I just don't know what the Saints will want for him versus what the Buffalo will be willing to give just because of the injury history.
I mean, the talent's there. I think he's still worth a 1. So from Buffalo, a late 1.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to draft that's better than Chris Olave? I mean, risk wise, I mean, obviously Olave is a huge risk. He needs to. If he puts together a healthy season, I bet you they could get a one out of him from the Bills, but two out of some teams, like for teams that are worse than the Bills.
Because I'm looking at the teams that are kind of bottom feeders who could potentially be sellers. I mean, the Jets are another option. I mean, granted, they just extended him, but they also traded Sauce Gardner after just extending him. So the Jets are fully open to having a fire sale.
Can you imagine? I don't know what Garrett Wilson would look like with Josh Allen. I mean, he could be like the best receiver in the league with Josh Allen.
Yeah, he's talented enough to be the best receiver in football.
Because I just remember, like, I mean, so in fantasy wise, I picked Garrett Wilson his rookie year because I was like, okay, he's the most talented receiver in this draft. And I didn't understand how much of an anomaly Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase's respective rookie years were. And Garrett obviously didn't play that. He played good his rookie year, but he wasn't like that. And yeah, I mean, I think he's not that far off from being as talented as those two guys, and he might be the most talented of the Ohio State receivers, other than maybe Marvin. I mean, I think he's more talented than JSN. I don't know. That's tough to say, though.
It is tough to say, seeing how JSN's performed the last 2 years. But granted, superior QB play, even if that QB play is Geno Smith last year and Sam Darnold this year, it's still better than what Garrett Wilson has had.
Even Rodgers, though, he and Rodgers like never really connected.
Yeah, we're gonna sit here and say Jets Rodgers was like definitively better than like Seahawks Sam Darnold.
No. Speaking of that, how's Rodgers' season this year? I'm really.
I think I saw that. I think 18
They were-
tuds to 7 picks. So like, you know, he's turned the ball over a bit, but I mean, overall solid year.
Yeah, better than last year.
There's a franchise that needs to blow it up. Our Steelers friend is like, "Oh, we're just a quarterback away," but how long is it going to take to actually go and get a guy? You're sitting here signing Russell Wilson. You're sitting here signing Aaron Rodgers. You draft Kenny Pickett. Like, you can't get that position right. Blow it up and start over.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can still get 2 first-round picks for TJ Watt to jumpstart your rebuild because you need to rebuild. That's a really old roster that is simply not cut out to win a Super Bowl this year.
I thought they might be, but I think you're right. I mean, I don't know. They're just blah. That's how they feel to me. But yeah, they're a weird one. I'm just trying to think of like, because they're leading their division. That's what's so weird. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, but the Ravens have had the injury issues with Lamar. The Bengals have had the injury issues with Joe. The Browns exist.
The Browns exist.
Have you seen that guy on TikTok who does like the back and forth game things? And when he does the Browns, all this guy ever says that represents the Browns is, "We're the Cleveland Browns."
Funny.
And then like whenever he says punt, the guy, the Browns character says, punts.
Yeah, he would say that.
It got so popular that the official Browns TikTok page commented that. Punts.
That they're 2-7 again. God, the Browns.
You know, they deserve everything they've gotten after trading for Deshaun Watson and giving up on Baker. They deserve all this bad play.
No, they don't. They've been going through this for so long.
They had the guy, Sam. They cut the guy. Actually, no, they traded the guy to Carolina.
Sent him to die. Sent him to die. Yeah. And then they drafted Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel for some reason. They're so dumb.
Hey, one of these quarterbacks are going to be good.
Maybe developing one of them would be smart. I don't know. But whatever. Like, they're such a dumb, bullshit organization.
They traded 3 first-round picks and gave Deshaun Watson $240 million fully guaranteed.
They're a stupid organization. I hate them.
They deserve to be 2-7. They had Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is single-handedly keeping Todd Bowles as a head coach. Todd Bowles is not a good NFL head coach.
You know what still pisses me off to this day? I'm gonna double check myself on this. The Bengals, if I'm not mistaken, were 6-2 in division the year we went to the Super Bowl, or they went to the Super Bowl. The 2 losses were both to the Browns. Yeah, let me double check that. Yes, they were both to the Browns.
Yeah, but weren't the Browns good that year? Weren't the Browns like 11-5
No.
with?
They're 8-9.
Oof.
They were. Their quarterbacks were Case Keenum and Nick Mullins. What are we doing?
That's rough. No, but oh geez, giving up on Baker Mayfield because he had a down season because he played through a shoulder injury the whole year.
They'll do that.
Guess what happened when he got healthy in LA? Because his Panthers tenure was miserable, but everyone's Panthers tenure has been miserable since Cam Newton left.
Yep.
Even Cam Newton's Panthers tenure was miserable when he returned.
Yeah, he's just not good.
Nah, he's never been an accurate passer of the football.
He just. I don't want to be mean. I'm going to go ahead and take a. You said Sam Darnold's stupid. I'm going to say Cam Newton might be the most annoying person in sports. Like, I'd rather listen to Skip Bayless talk than Cam Newton.
That's crazy, dude. The Skip Bayless has some of the worst takes in history.
Cam's are worse. Cam's are so much worse.
Dude, I don't know.
Him yapping about Brock Purdy. What he can't do a lot of the things that Brock Purdy could do. And vice versa, but I'm just saying.
I mean, Brock Purdy is a limited quarterback. He's an accurate passer, but he's not.
Cam Newton was a limited quarterback.
Difference is Cam Newton is a freak athlete.
Yeah, Cam Newton might be one of the top 10 most talented quarterbacks ever physically, but he's limited by choice. That's my point. He didn't want to work.
Yeah, he'll never live down that not going for the fumble in the Super Bowl.
Nope, he shouldn't. And I take personally the fact that people think that he's better than Andrew Luck.
He's never been better than Andrew Luck.
People will argue that.
Who's been arguing that? Now, I'm not saying it's not happening, but who's arguing that? Like
lots of people.
Like
just people that don't know football.
Essentially. Just do the eye test. I don't care that Cam has an MVP. Andrew Luck was generational.
Look at his numbers. Luck's numbers are better than his. He had one season. Cam Newton had one season. It's like, I mean, his rookie year was good. Luck's was better. I mean, RG3's was better. It's like, what? I've never seen it. I mean, he's so talented, but I've never seen it. It's always been Luck. I mean, Luck's almost as fast as him. I mean, I'm talking about, literally, if you just look at them as athletes, Luck's not that far off of Cam.
Oh, yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I want to meet these people who are saying Cam Newton's better all the time. I want to meet these people because they're dumb.
Yeah, and I have to yell at them a lot. Some of them are my friends. So
any of our mutuals think Cam Newton's better all time?
No.
Okay.
That might be worth asking them. But,
that might be worth asking the group chat, but I think all our friends know ball enough to say Andrew Luck's better.
He had 39 and 40 touchdowns twice, or 39 and 40 touchdowns in different seasons. I mean, Luck was he was the guy, man. And Cam if people want Cam to be better than him, they would have won the Super Bowl. If Luck would have came out a year earlier and they would have picked him first, they would have won a Super Bowl. They just would have. I mean, I don't know. These freaking morons, man. They don't know how good Andrew Luck was.
Dude,
I'm gonna compare their numbers. I'm gonna do that.
people forget so quickly how good players were.
Yeah, and Cam Newton had that one season and did all those celebrations and shit, and so people think he's. I don't know. I'm comparing their numbers on the stat head thing.
I mean, you remember the flashy guys, man, at the end of the day. Like think about OBJ, who injuries derailed what could have been a Hall of Fame career, but people are going to remember the catch forever and, like, talk about OBJ, like, forever. You know, we were teenagers during the catch, man. Like, we're going to always remember watching the greatest catch of all time and hype up OBJ. Like, it's almost like the
Me
same
and my cousin
vein.
were in the yard. Me and my cousin were. That was the same season too, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't it?
Yeah, I
Or
thought,
no, maybe
it was either the same
I
season or
want
the
to say it
year
was the year
after.
before. Because OBJ's second year is when Cam won the MVP, and OBJ did that as a rookie. But like
Yeah.
OBJ, he was probably I think he was the best receiver in the league his second year. But you know everybody wanted to not like that. So
OBJ has a special place in my heart. He helped me. I shared a fantasy team with my dad back then because I didn't have money to do my own buy-in. You know, I was a teenager without a job. So our shared team, we picked up rookie OBJ, and the first game we started him was. I thought you were gonna.
that game.
Yep, the catch.
Sorry,
Sorry, I thought you were gonna fill in the blank there. I thought you saw what I was going for.
no, I missed it. I'm sorry. Uh, I'm trying to do this compare. I'm also I was like listening, but I'm also trying to do this comparison. Like that stat head sorry isn't working for some reason. It's full career stats. So I was trying to compare Luck and Newton, but it's not really worth it because Luck's just better. Like at the end of the day.
No, it's not a contest. It really isn't. So, just I don't even know why it's a discussion. I don't know who on Instagram or TikTok or wherever you're seeing this in your own personal life is arguing this, but they need a reality check.
I need to stop following brain rot. That's what that crap is.
Oh, dude,
Uh,
jeez, I remember getting those rage bait TikTokers like trying to hype up the mid quarterbacks.
well, and people hating on Tim Duncan and like Andrew Luck are the two athletes that I just cape for so hard because people just don't appreciate them enough.
Dude, Timmy is like to pivot to basketball for like 20 seconds. Timmy is top 10 all time, man. The big fundamental.
Timmy is top five all time, damn near.
Yeah, you could definitely make the
I
argument
mean,
that Timmy's top five.
what could Timmy not do?
Shoot.
Shoot threes? He can shoot mid range like
Well,
most
yeah, he
guys.
could shoot the midi, but he was never an elite 3-point shooter, which, I mean, he played in an era where you didn't have to be a 3-point shooter to be dominant, so who cares?
I'm curious what his 3-point percentage was for his career. I'm gonna look this up. This is the era of basketball I love too. I just realized like how mid basketball is now. But I was thinking about the era. Oh, it was pretty rough for his career. He shot like 18% for his career, but there were some seasons where he had like 0.1 attempt per game, like his whole career basically.
Yeah, it was so funny arguing with, because, I used to be a youth worker, so I was, arguing with sports with teenage boys, and, like, I was playing 2K with one of these kids, and Timmy has a freaking B 3-point rating in the 2K Spurs all time team for some reason. I'm like, dude, Timmy could never shoot the three, and someone tried to argue that with me.
He deserves a C rating because his shot is so clean. But yeah, no, B is too much.
No,
He's like almost my favorite. I mean, retroactively, because I don't think I felt this way about him when I was a kid. He might be my favorite basketball player. Like, he's up there. I mean, he's in that conference. I mean, probably not number one. I mean, honestly, it probably is Kobe, which I know that's basic, but well, my actual favorite basketball player of all time is Steve Alford, but that's like a whole other conversation. But like NBA, like that I grew up with, like Kobe's my dog. I mean, who he's everybody's dog, but Tim's too. And then the two, like to me, like weirdly, they're the two players that like were the players of my childhood because they were so good in the 2000s and then still good in the 2010s and winning championships in the 2010s. Well, not plural, but a championship apiece.
Yeah, my
And like,
favorite player is not even an all-time great. My favorite basketball player is Anthony Davis.
that's fair. He is an all-time great, though. I think.
Well, like he's not in like the stratosphere of a Timmy or a Kobe, obviously, but like, yeah, he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. Like he's an all-time talent, but he never quite lived up to his billing.
And see, that's another thing. It's the same kind of conversation as what they had with about Andrew Luck and Cam. People were talking about how Anthony Davis is more talented than Tim Duncan. Who the hell cares? He's not better at basketball. But yeah, I mean, just I don't know. Some of these like sports talking head conversations are basically just made. It just does. I mean, I'm saying this jokingly, but they're like designed to rage bait me in particular because
Dude,
they always want to hype up the flashy athletes, and it's like, okay,
yeah, because that's what gets the views, man. But like big fundamentals like Timmy, that's how you win chips, and that's what I care about is winning.
yeah, 5 championships, 5 for 1.
But
It gets me.
yeah, but
And he was the best player in all of them. Because with Kobe, I mean, you can argue he wasn't. I'm trying to think of who in the history of the NBA has been the best player guaranteed on all of their championship teams and had that many. And it's Michael Jordan and Bill Russell. That's the only other two. Magic Johnson was not always the best player in the Lakers. Kobe was not always the best player in the Lakers. Larry had 3.
MJ
I mean,
was always
so
the
he's
best
another one.
player in Chicago.
And yes, MJ was the only other one that has that many, and Bill Russell are the only 2 others that have that many championships, more than like 5, more than 4, where they are the best player on their team. No
Now,
question.
no, I don't want to disrespect Timmy, but he did not win that 2014 Finals MVP.
No, Kawhi did. I don't think Kawhi was better than him. I think if anything, you could argue that Tony Parker was the best player on that team. But I don't know. I mean, I would still say okay, so at least 4 of them. But I mean, again,
I don't know. Clamping Braun
teams as a whole,
is crazy.
yeah. And he clamped them for what, 17 points. I mean, he still was all right. But
Yeah, but clamping a guy like LeBron, who I'm not even LeBron's biggest fan, but clamping down the at least undisputed second best player of all time, at least, obviously the MJ
yeah,
LeBron argument, so he's at least number 2. Clamping at least the second best player ever to 17, that's
in
an
his prime, by
accomplishment.
the way, in his prime.
Yeah, the
Yeah, in his
best
prime.
version of LeBron James was Heat James, easily.
Yeah. Well, that 2016 version of LeBron. And 2016 is my favorite basketball season ever. So I always will cape for that season. But would you say also, this is a full side conversation. We can come back to this maybe next week and be a little bit more broad with our discussion. Did we grow up in the best sports decade in the 2010s?
I mean, we had Braun, we had Brady, 2 arguable GOATs.
Yep.
I mean, and you
Shohei,
look at the
beginning of Shohei.
beginning of Shohei, you look at the broader sporting world, we grew up with the best swimmer of all time and Michael Phelps.
We grew up with Messi and Ronaldo.
Yeah.
We grew up with a lot of good baseball teams. Mookie Betts, Mike Trout. I mean, it is definitely not the best decade of baseball, but it was a good decade of baseball.
Put
Like, you know what I
Miggy,
mean? Like
Miguel Cabrera,
Miggy, Triple Crown.
my boy Cy Young, Justin
Miggy,
Verlander, like
I mean, think about this. Okay, just think of things that we got to see in the 2010s. Miggy Triple Crown, 73-9, then a 3-1 comeback from the Cavs to beat that said team. We got to see, oh man, 55 passing touchdowns from Peyton Manning, the record by a lot.
Now, granted, it was 2000. Yes, this was in the 2010s. Calvin Johnson breaking the receiving record.
Calvin Johnson breaking the receiving record. OBJ one-handed catch. I mean, that's just more from me joking and kind of having fun.
I mean, that is one of the greatest sports moments of all time.
60 touchdowns from Joe Burrow that season. I mean, like all of it. I mean, there's so freaking many moments. I mean, this is a little bit biased because I'm a Reds fan, and even though he wasn't playing for the Reds at this point, Johnny Cueto complete game shutout in the World Series. That's one of my favorite games ever in baseball. Um, Max Scherzer almost perfect game.
I mean, who was that guy
Took
who was Clay something, the Dodgers guy who was really good? Why can't I remember his name?
Kershaw.
Yeah,
He just retired.
Clay and
Yeah,
Kershaw.
his
Yeah.
his decade of dominance. The beginning of Degrom, who might be the best pitcher I've ever seen personally, and I love him. So I'm.
I mean, we witnessed the best in my opinion, the best tight end in history in Rob Gronkowski.
The Patriots comeback against the Falcons.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nick Foles Cinderella run.
Yeah, 2010s, man. I mean, and then I just think that was the last like time period where the NBA was still the quality that it used to be. I genuinely think COVID's what kind of broke it. 2019, I think, was the last great season of the NBA.
Dude, I've tried to be back into basketball, especially because the Pistons are good. But dude, it is just swing the rock until you find someone open for three. No one is backing someone down anymore. Where is old school gritty
There's no
basketball?
well,
The current
well, and the thing
Pistons
is,
are the closest to that brand, and it's still bad.
well, and it just feels like not very many people like actually care. Like people that play don't care. Like they don't show to the games half the time. You know what I'm saying?
Load
Like it's
management
just
is
kind of this.
ruining basketball.
What is it?
Load management,
Say again.
load
Yeah,
management.
it is. And then half the time they don't even care about the games they're actually playing.
No,
It's like
they're there for a
I don't know.
paycheck. They get
I don't
paid
know.
too much
That
money.
makes me dumb.
Like
Yep.
they get to make so much more money for being mediocre because it's a 14-man roster with a similar salary cap to compared to the NFL with a 53-man roster and a similar salary cap.
Yep. It just yeah, I'm over it. But the 2010s and 2000s of basketball and the 90s and the 80s and the 70s, that's just good basketball to me. Like genuinely. And it's just past its prime. But football's still been great this decade. I've enjoyed football, but I was thinking too. And I had this conversation yesterday. The 2010s Heisman winners. I mean that's a gauntlet. Like this decade isn't even close to that.
No,
I
it
mean
hasn't.
Cam Newton, RG3, Johnny Manziel, who won in 20? Marcus Mariota, Derrick Henry,
Famous
Lamar Jackson,
Jameis.
Jameis. He's the only one I missed. Joe Burrow obviously being the best one, maybe, and Cam too. Cam's Heisman year was insane. 2018 Kyler Murray's Heisman season was wildly good. Baker's season was wildly good. Like that's the best Heisman decade maybe ever. I mean, the '80s was phenomenal too, like Herschel Walker, Bo Jackson, Doug Flutie, Tim Brown, all those guys. But I would still take the 2010s.
No, we might have been we might have been like young going into our teen years for the best decade of sports, and that maybe that's our nostalgia talking. But I agree with you.
I was just thinking about it today and just having those conversations. College basketball. I mean, you think of the upset, the IU Kentucky upset. I know you hate that. That's like that's the
It was
behemoth of it right
Wisconsin
there.
that did that, by the way.
No, I'm talking about the buzzer beater with Christian Watford in the regular season.
Oh, I thought you were talking about our undefeated year where we got to the Final Four with Cat and the Harrison twins. My bad.
That team was so good though. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I forgot about that though. That's another one. I mean, Wichita State being as good as they were. Some of those Nova teams, like some of those freaking Coach K being still around and still having great teams, winning a Natty in 2016, I think in 20. He won 2 in the 2010s, I think. I could be wrong though.
I mean, we had the
Let me look it
first
up.
16 over 1 seed upset ever in the 2010s. Granted, it's happened since, but still.
No, but I mean that though the first though it's possible. Now we know it's possible. Coach K won 2 championships. Oh no, yeah, two championships in the 2010s. He won one in 2010 and 2015. Like we can honestly that could be a whole subject. We can talk about how great football was in the 2010s. Because the NFL, we haven't even talked about the NFL. I mean, like, oh my God. Well, yeah, we did. We talked about Brady,
I mean, the
but
Patriots
I mean, Aaron
dynasty:
Rodgers.
Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees.
Yep, yep. Even though the 2000s were better for Breeze than the 2010s, not statistically, but just for super like relevance, because that team was kind of meh. A lot of the 2010s. I mean, they had some good seasons too. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, but no,
um,
we grew up during the greatest era of pro quarterback play ever. It will not be topped.
yeah, 2000s and 2010s, like those guys, like Philip Rivers, all the guys in the '04 draft too, like Rivers, Roethlisberger, and Eli. I mean, oh my, so good,
Like that
so
era
good,
was so
so much.
dominant that Matt Stafford was an afterthought.
Yeah, I didn't even think to mention him too. That's what I mean. Like it's just I went back to that mindset again. Um,
Like Matt Stafford's a
so
forgotten
yeah,
man when he's truly one of the best to ever do it.
and I love the 2000s too because that's when I was like growing up and stuff. But like I think the 2010s are better than the 2000s. And it's kind of like when social media was new and it was fun, you know,
Yeah, it's not like the
like
current demographic of like everyone's just trying to make a buck or sell you something or rage bait you.
yeah, it was like new and like in the way sports were discussed back then were like it was still kind of goofy and brain rotty, but it was still fun. Like I don't know,
Like, cause what we're doing
and sports
here,
didn't pander to social media yet.
what we're doing here is really a throwback to early YouTube, where we're not trying to like fucking make a name for ourselves by saying crazy stuff. We're just talking like normal people, like how prime YouTube was when we were kids watching like Minecraft videos and
Yeah,
other stupid crap.
yeah. My favorite Minecrafter was Ant Venom, and he had like no flash. He just loved the game and loved talking about it.
Now,
You
Ant
know, I still
Venom's
go watch old some of
Ant Venom's an OG.
Yeah,
Here we are talking about Minecraft. My favorite YouTuber growing up was Jerome ASF.
I never watched Real ASF, but I definitely know that name.
Yeah, he was
But yeah,
he was
I
big
mean,
with those Sky Does Minecraft crew back in the day before Sky Does Minecraft turned out to have some bad allegations.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to
I don't
touch
know.
on that.
I don't
We
know anything about that.
back to sports. Back to sports. No, like
Back to sports.
we're
Um,
literally
yeah, OJ Simpson's a great running
we're
back.
witnessing us becoming the old heads who say that our era is the best.
No, and I'll completely own up to that too. But man, the 2010s, like it's so good. It was so good. I just can't even like
Dude,
I just can't.
2016 was
I just
prime.
I don't know.
I don't care. Call me on, call me old head. I don't care. 2016 was prime.
Yeah, that's my favorite basketball season, like ever, by a lot. Like by a lot. 2016. Well, and then I always say 2016 is my favorite basketball season. 2018 is my favorite football season, and then 2023 is my favorite baseball season, which that obviously goes out of the 2010s. But like that's the season that got me back into baseball with the Reds and stuff, with the winning streak and everything. And just the whole season, it was so fun to watch. There's so many good players. Bobby Witt, Gunnar Henderson, all those guys. I mean, it was just it was a good year. But yeah,
And I just want to
2010's
touch
better.
on this more abstract. Doesn't it feel weird watching your team during the NFL draft now and these guys getting drafted are younger than you? Because that was a weird feeling for me the first year it happened.
So I remember when I was 20, I went to Florida. Or I was actually still 19. And there was some guys that were born in '03, and I was like, that is a very bizarre feeling. Now it's just so common. Like my cousin is a week to the day younger than me. I was born August 24th. He was born August 31st, 2000. And like Sauce Gardner's his age, like his exact age. That's when Sauce Gardner was born, August 31st, 2000. It's like what? Like, I don't know. It just freaks me out.
I'm
Mostly
I'm
I don't
I'm
know.
older than Jameer Gibbs, dude.
Oh God, that's so hard for me to hear.
We're
Like
we're older than these studs in the league right now.
I can't like handle it. I just because I'm like, oh my God, I love CJ Carr. I'm gonna shave my head to look like CJ Carr, and it's like that dude's 19. I'm 25. Like no, like no, stop.
Dude,
Like
it's weird.
stop
Like
being younger.
half my jersey, I'm either the same age or that are younger than me of all the current Lions players jerseys I have. I have Hutch,
There's
I have
nobody on Notre
Jameer, and I have freaking
There's-
Terrion Arnold.
There's nobody on Notre Dame that is like younger than me. There's no or older than me. There's no way.
No, I mean, dude, what? You're
There's no
25,
way.
right?
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, there might be some
look it up.
random seventh year senior on there for some reason, but like, dude, they're gonna be the same age as you if they're a seventh
There's
year.
a walk-on kicker. There's a walk-on kicker who's 30.
Okay, you still got
So
one.
I'm lucky. Yeah, I got one. I just looked up oldest player on Notre Dame football currently, and it said there's a kicker who's a walk-on.
Like, dude, I'm a
Yes, I got lucky.
I'm a few years removed from being a college graduate. All these freaking guys who are making their millions in NIL money, dude. Freaking Bryce Underwood already has more money than I'm probably ever gonna see in my life, and he's 18.
It's crazy. It's freaking nuts. Caleb Williams living in that like penthouse in LA the whole time he was at USC. I'm like, bro, come on. I don't know, man. Times have been changing.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
like it. I don't like change. 2010s were better.
dude,
You could be poor.
dude, we're
Live on a stipend.
we're just getting old, man. We're not old yet, but we're getting there, and it's crazy.
No, and the 2010s is the best decade. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just gonna like double down. on
No,
that.
we're gonna be
And,
70
it's
years
funny 'cause
old
We're actually like
and still saying this, and I love that.
we're like halfway through this. Like we're halfway through this decade, so it's kind of like an appropriate time to look back at the 2010s. And I'm just like, that decade was the absolute shit. Like it was so great.
Oh, it was so good, so good.
You know.
Oh.
So good, the best.
Oh, jeez.
But
Well, we've ran a good amount of time. I think it's a good place to call it. Just talked about a bunch of random crap. I love it.
Yeah.
This
Just talking. Just
this
having
is
fun.
retro YouTube. Where are my other mid 20s people at? You need to watch this show.
Yeah, talk about it'd be so funny just to have like a podcast just reminiscing on the 2010s. like I don't even like just like let's watch this random game from 2017, the Rams versus the Chiefs playoffs game or whatever or something. I don't know. I'm just randomly saying stuff at this point, but yeah. Didn't they lose? Didn't the Chiefs beat? Who the Chiefs beat? The Titans beat them. Because, like, Mariota threw a touchdown pass to himself.
Yep.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. You know who deflected that? Terrell Revis.
Revis. I know. That's what I'm going to say. That's cursed. Terrell Revis playing for the Chiefs is so cursed. I hated it. I don't know. But yeah, we can probably wrap it. We're getting to that point. But.
Yeah, no, it's a good episode. This might be my favorite episode we've recorded. Please, I know that no one's watching this and no one's going to hear this because it's the end of the thing. Watch this show. We want a community here. Where's my other freaking mid 20-year-olds at?
Yeah.
We want commenters so we can just talk about old sports. That's all we want is a little community to talk about random sports crap with.
Yeah. Yep. Random playoff games where Revis deflected a pass into Marcus Mariota's arms. Stuff like that.
Exactly. If anyone makes it to this point, please subscribe, tell your friends, do whatever you gotta do, man. I want a little community. Let's get to 100 subscribers and have a couple people who come each week and just talk with us.